the narrative can be the narrative. Here's the reality. The Chiefs absolutely cracked Baltimore for 4 solid quarters. And you know what? Look, it's valid that, yeah, they had a bunch of guys out on defense. They did. Sure. They also scored 13 meaningful points in that game with a full complement on offense and got absolutely blown out of the building.
It's That Football Show here on KC Sports Upper. Tucker Franklin hanging out with Matt Verderame as we are here after a Chiefs 37-20 victory, dismantling of the Baltimore Ravens, Matt. Wow, I'm glad that I had Ben Holiday Bottled and Bond Bourbon because there was plenty of celebrating going on in the KCSN postgame show. We were toasting everything that could walk for the Kansas City Chiefs pretty much. But how are you doing? How are you feeling after that Chiefs win?
I'm feeling pretty good. That was... We were talking pre-show.
Yeah.
That's got to be the most dominant win they've had over a good team in a really long time. Like,
yeah.
From pretty much start to finish. I mean, the Ravens had an opening drive where they got 7, and after that, were then outscored 37-6 until a garbage time touchdown. I mean, that game was so bad for Baltimore that I really considered at one point, like early in the fourth quarter, I was like, do they just punt on 4th down and just like basically beg for mercy at this point? Kansas City is annihilating them. After that first drive, Lamar threw for 95 yards in the game.
Crazy.
95 yards, 2 turnovers. Just rushed the entire rest of the game. Derrick Henry had 40 yards rushing, something like that.
Yeah. Insignificant is what Derrick Henry was.
Yeah, he basically was Isaiah Pacheco with better PR. Except Isaiah Pacheco actually scored a touchdown in this game.
True, receiving touchdown.
Yeah, that's right. Which was good because the first time they threw a screen pass to him, he batted it down like he was a defensive back. So
did you see how much grass he had in front of him? He had 2 offensive linemen and a lot of grass.
I mean, it was just all right. But in any event, look, no shade today for the Chiefs. No. They were dominant, and I think I wrote a column after the game about the Ravens and kind of led with it by saying, I thought this game was about survival. Last week after the Chiefs beat the Giants, I covered that game for SI and I wrote that, look, I think for the Chiefs, it's about surviving until Rice gets back. Just survive. This game was about avoiding 1-3 for both teams. And it was about, walking out of it, steadying yourselves, but also feeling good because whoever won the game was going to walk out of it being like, we beat a quality opponent, handle our business. I mean, there's no other way to say it. The Chiefs kicked the shit out of them. I mean, that game was, honestly, that game could have been worse.
Yes.
If the Chiefs really wanted it, they probably would have hung 50 on them. If the Chiefs had just been like, you know what, we're going to get right here and we're just going to leave guys in. I mean, they were moving the ball, just running the clock out. And then they yanked Mahomes out of the game. They're like, all right, get Mahomes out of it. I mean, it was a baptism, man, in every way, shape, and form.
That's what they needed. It kind of felt like you're talking about a baptism. Let's keep it spiritual here. I think it kind of felt like an exorcism at some points, right? It felt like they were just exorcising some demons. And Matt, I don't want to toot our own horns here, but we got on our show last week. And yeah, we probably should. We got on our show last week, and you and I were kind of talking about the way that these teams matched up, the injuries, and we were like, hey, guys, how is this still 2.5? How are the Chiefs still underdogs? The Chiefs entered this game as underdogs. That is what is legitimately confusing to me. They were underdogs in this game, but there will be people that will get on these get-ups, that'll get on First Take, that'll get on whatever Fox Sports is doing in the mornings now. They'll get there and they'll say, well, the Ravens were banged up. The Chiefs should have won this game. Obviously, the Chiefs should have won this game. The Chiefs, they should have won this game. The national goalpost moving is not going to quit. It's not going to stop. But I want you all to be aware that do not allow this to happen. Do not allow the national goalpost moving to take place because they will say, oh, they played a Ravens team that was banged up as if they forgot that the Chiefs had their 2 starting leading wide receivers out for the first 3 weeks of the season, right? The amnesia around the Chiefs and their struggles will be very high. There's going to be a lot of people forget what they said a couple of weeks ago about this Chiefs team when they already counted them out. They already called them dead. This Ravens team was supposed to be the next team to kind of usurp the Chiefs, them and the Bills, right? The Ravens, Matt, we talked about this pre-show. The Ravens PR department of whoever they got talking for him in the national media, wow, they did some work. And I've already started to see kind of on the timeline already of people saying like, oh, well, we knew this Ravens defense wasn't going to be good in the preseason. We already knew in the preseason this Ravens defense wasn't going to be good. So there's already goalpost moving going on Sunday night. And I can't imagine what it's going to be on Monday morning when you see all these national pundits get on there. But that's one thing that I took away from this game. And I talked about it on everything else with Josh Fabrisco when we were doing our stream on Friday, is that I wanted the Chiefs to win this game and win it dominating in a dominating fashion to where the national media were put into this mental pretzel of like, wait, well, we thought that the Ravens were really good, so we have to account for why the Ravens played like that. But the Chiefs were already dead, and the Chiefs were already bad. The dynasty's over, I thought already. So then we have to account for that. The mental gymnastics you're going to see is going to be really good, and I cannot wait for people to just tag me and anyone else in the things that they say to just see what they're trying to come up with after this game.
There's going to be a whole lot of like the Ravens were really hurt,
right?
Couldn't win this game. Mm-hmm. Look, the Ravens weren't missing anybody on offense in this game.
It's a great point. Ronnie Stanley played. He left, but he
and like I don't look. Ronnie Stanley's terrific, but like I don't give a damn that Ronnie Stanley left the game.
Yeah,
I don't care. You didn't have Rashee Rice. Okay, I don't care.
Yeah,
like just shut up. I don't care that Ronnie Stanley. First of all, Ronnie Stanley misses every other game, historically speaking, because he's hurt all the time, which sucks. Like, it's true. He's hurt a lot, and I don't want to hear anybody who says anything about Lamar Jackson's injury is unserious. First of all, that game was 30-13, and Lamar was doing nothing. Secondly, I am curious to see how that plays out this week, because I am never going to sit here and say somebody is, not hurt. Hey, look, they leave and they got an injury, and that's fine. He had a wrap on his right hamstring. We'll see how practice goes and everything else. Baltimore plays on Sunday against Houston.
Yep.
It was extremely odd that after the game, John Harbaugh was asked if he would have come back in if the game was closer, and Harbaugh wouldn't answer the question. Which begs, like, if Harbaugh had just said, no, he wouldn't have been able to play, it would have been, okay, fine.
Yeah.
The fact he wouldn't answer the question is very bizarre to me, because it's like, okay, so you're kind of hanging your quarterback out to dry here.
Yeah.
Because you're basically saying, yeah, he could have gone back in and played, but like, whatever. We were down by 17 points. Bro, you blew a game like that in week 1 in Buffalo. Yeah, I didn't see Josh Allen sitting down. So what's going on? It's very weird. Either he was hurt and he just shouldn't have been able to play. It's fine. That's the case, fine. If he wasn't really hurt and they could have just played him, but they're like, Cooper Rush, get in there.
Yeah.
Feels like an odd time to do that when you're getting trounced and about to go to 1-3. Like, I'm thinking probably put him in the game if he's healthy and can play. He also just, and I'm not, look, sometimes it doesn't appear the way, but he didn't look hurt. Like, he ran off the field. The whole thing was weird. The point I'm making is the Ravens in that game, the idea that, like, oh, they couldn't win, they were favored.
Right.
And,
yes.
And I'm not in Arrowhead, and I'm not sitting here, like, I'm not going to name like a crap one. There were a lot of people at a lot of stations nationally who sat there this week and were like, the Ravens are a much better team, Chris Sims. They're going to smoke the Chiefs, right? The Chiefs aren't even, Sims literally said they weren't in the same league as the Ravens, which is interesting considering the Chiefs just keep winning the Lombardi Trophy and the Ravens maybe have a picture of it. We know the Bills do. They hung one up massively in their field house, and we know how that season ended. Look, and you're right. There's going to be goalposts moving, but here's what, like, the narrative can be the narrative. Here's the reality. The Chiefs absolutely cracked Baltimore for 4 solid quarters. And you know what? Look, it's valid that, they had a bunch of guys out on defense. They did. Sure. They also scored 13 meaningful points in that game with a full complement on offense and got absolutely blown out of the building. Like, hey, look, man, Chiefs had a lot of injuries last year and went 15-1 in meetings. Like, I don't care. It sucks. Feel bad for the players, but also too, not for nothing. Marlon Humphrey's hurt all the time.
He is.
Ronnie Stanley's hurt all the time. Kyle Van Noy's in his 30s. Like, you're not going to believe it, but guys like that tend to get hurt. Jair Alexander, I saw people before. Oh man, big loss. He's hurt all the time. It's why the Packers got rid of him. They literally released him. They didn't even trade him. They're like, go with God, get out.
Yeah.
And Baltimore signed him. Everybody's like, oh, my God. This is why he was available. If he was great and healthy, he wouldn't have been available.
Mm-hmm.
So, listen, to me, it's like some of this is legit. Some of this also is like, it's like grandstanding. Yeah, he's hurt. No kidding. He's hurt constantly. What else is new? Sucks, but he's hurt all the time. So we'll give the Chiefs full credit. They went into a game that no matter what people say on Monday morning, a lot of those same people thought they were going to get smoked in that game.
Yep.
And Xavier Worthy came back, which I think really is one of the headlines of this game, and hung 121 yards on Baltimore. And that was kind of all she wrote. Baltimore had one great drive to start the game and then got absolutely crushed the entire rest of the game.
That's where I want to start, because I do think there's a lot to talk about Spagnuolo and the defense. And before our first break, let's talk about the offense, and let's talk about how that offense looked and how different it looked with just Xavier Worthy on the field. Matt, like, that's kind of the crazy part, is like, just because Xavier Worthy was on the field, it looked so much different. You mentioned his day. He had 83 receiving yards, 5 catches. He also added 2 carries and 38 yards, which his carry was 3 times as longer. That one carry that he had for 35 yards was 3 times as longer as any run that the running backs have had this year. Nevertheless, having him and his dynamic playability in there certainly did matter. And the Ravens defense had to respect it, and they finally had somebody on the field that our defense had to respect, like Xavier Worthy, which opened up so many more things for this offense to do.
Yes.
Thoughts on that Chiefs offense? And this is like the Chiefs offense. Now, it's not fully healthy to where we expect to see it, because they still are adding their best wide receiver, which is going to be a really fun addition. But thoughts on how this offense was moving early on in this game, really throughout the game, with the Worthy addition as well as, the defense being banged up, but the Worthy addition as well. How do you think that added to this team?
Look, Worthy, we saw it right away when Mahomes hit him for a 37-yard deep ball.
Right.
Instantly. It was a great throw. Worthy beat him, stacked the corner, 37 yards. Then I thought instructively, it was a 4th and 1 or 2, and the Chiefs went for it early.
Yeah.
And it was Worthy on a little quick out, and they hit him. Like, they probably don't convert that the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Not on that play anyway. I don't think it was a coincidence that all of a sudden, like, how many times did Mahomes throw that, like, quick pass across the middle of the field? Juju, Hollywood, it's wide open.
Right.
Well, why? Well, because you're pulling coverage away.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, those backers are getting a little wider. It's a little more depth. It's professional football. This isn't like you, me, and 9 bozos out on the playground. Okay, like, this is a step here, a step there in the NFL is enormous. That is the difference between an incompletion and a touchdown. And if some safety has to take 2 steps back, or some linebacker has to take 2 steps out, for Patrick Mahomes, that's easy money. Like, that guy's wide open now. So I think we saw that effect. And then also, listen, Worthy, when he had the ball in his hands, did what he was doing second half last year. He's making plays. He was just beating guys one after the next. That is one thing as an overall theme that I thought was jarring, and I thought Worthy's presence made all the difference, was how fast they were in the game. Between Worthy and Brashard Smith, who suddenly kind of coming out of mothballs, and it looks like maybe keep showing him more of the playbook.
Yeah.
Hollywood. Jalen Royals got a return, had a pretty nice return, but he's not in the offense so much yet. Thornton had another touchdown. It's a lot of speed. It's a lot. And then you can live with the lack of speed with Kelce and Juju.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's fun. When you have all that other speed on the field, it's like, all right, fine. I mean, not everybody's got to be a track star.
Right.
But when you have all these, it opens up space for those guys. And I don't think it's a coincidence that Kelce had 5 targets, 5 catches. Juju had a nice game, had a touchdown. Why? There's space. And unlike the last couple of years, they're throwing the ball deep. And unlike the last couple of years, they're giving Mahomes time, because that was the other story of this game.
Yep.
I understand the Ravens are playing the JV squad up front. Mahomes could have sat in a lawn chair in that. I mean, he had all day. Suamatia was excellent.
He was.
Simmons, I know he gave it the 1 sack, although it was kind of he gave it up, but it was also a little bit more play. Juwan Taylor, who I have just absolutely buried to no end. Hey, no penalties. And play well in this game. When Mahomes has that kind of time, they're going to score.
Right.
And when he has that kind of time and they have a lot of weapons, they're going to score a lot. And when they play Baltimore and he's got that kind of time and he's got those kind of weapons, they may never stop scoring. So that was, I think, what broke out on Sunday.
It was really good to see. And what I also like to see, Matt, Travis Kelce had 48 yards, 5 catches, 48 yards. Tied with Xavier Worthy for the most receptions. You mentioned 5 for 5 for him today. No drops for him, but also 32 yards after the catch for Travis Kelce. So getting some yak going on. And there was some Xavier Worthy led in yards after the catch with 34, as kind of you would anticipate, right, with Xavier Worthy, his dynamic ability, even though it did seem like on some of these like plays he was dipping out maybe a little early for contact on the shoulder. Rightfully so, because he has a fully torn labrum.
Fine.
But but like that's okay.
Fine.
You'll be good with that. Brashard Smith at 31 yards after the catch.
Yep.
Juju with 25 after the catch. Like they were getting some yards after the catch, which has been kind of a problem with this offense. And I think that was kind of a big deal too.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. And I think part of the reason was again, when you have Worthy, there's more space. There's just more grass to run to. Look, when they've got him and Thornton on the field on any given play, one of those guys can just go the distance. Which is a crazy thing to say about Tyquan Thornton, but it really is the times we're living in. There's on pace for like 900 yards receiving. Okay,
he's leading the team in touchdown catches right now.
It's unbelievable. I also thought after missing Brashard Smith on an early throw in the first drive, I don't think I've seen Mahomes play any better than that in a while. Like, vintage. Not just the numbers, it was the way he played. Bullets across the middle of the field. A couple of really nice touchdown throws. The throw to Worthy I mentioned earlier. Yep. Hollywood on 4th down running out like that. It just looked like him. Like it was like, all right, and I don't think it's a coincidence. They blocked. Yeah. He had time. And it's like, all right, cool. Well, if that guy's got 3 seconds, you're done. It's over. And it's super impressive. Look, I know Baltimore's defense sucks. I get it. But then that's what you should do. You should absolutely annihilate a bad defense. Well, they did. Like, I don't know what else you can want from them.
Right.
There wasn't a single thing they did on offense in that game that I'd be like, I was really critical of it.
Yeah.
I can't think of one thing. And by the way, with Kelce, because I have been extremely critical of just his mental lapses at times. One thing I wanted to say, he had a good game receiving.
He did.
But to me, the most impressive play that he put on tape in that game, at least it was noticed in real time. They ran, I think it was Pacheco, ran inside, and Kelce came across the formation to make a block, and he drilled that linebacker and pancaked him. Just drove him out. And I thought, well, that was great effort by him, showed some team effort there. I also thought the physicality in that game, the Chiefs really took it to him physically. Brian Cook hit Derrick Henry about as hard as Derrick Henry's probably been hit in a long time. Derrick Henry had a full head of steam and had 5 yards, and Brian Cook hit him like a human missile, and Derrick Henry gained 5 yards. That was the end of the run. Noel Williams continues to be one of my favorite players on the Chiefs early. It just hits everything that moves.
It's incredible.
Jaden Hicks at a big stick. I think it was with Mark Andrews. I thought Bolton, listen, we all have our feelings on Bolton. Bolton can be up and down depending on the game. I thought he played great in this game.
Yeah.
He was physical, was aggressive. Chris Jones was terrific in the game. Carl Loftus, by the way, 4 hits on Jackson. Like, that's his second week in a row of 4 quarterback hits.
Huh.
Like 8 quarterback hits is like half a season for a lot of guys.
Coverage must be good then, is what I'm saying.
Oh, wow. Wow. George Karlaftis has been moving the needle. But, and by the way, the play of the game was, in my opinion, Leo Chenal's interception.
Who thought that could happen? Like, I know the dude's a good athlete, but like, what the fuck?
I didn't think he thought it was happening. Like they were down 7-3 and Baltimore was moving the ball.
Yeah.
And he picked off that throw, and that was kind of it.
Yep. 100%.
Baltimore did nothing the rest of the game. That was they did one of the drive the third quarter, got a field goal out of. That was it. Like they got bullied. And if he doesn't make that play, maybe it's 10-3, maybe it's 14-3, and now it's a totally different football game. He made the play. Everything changed instantly went the other direction. So, listen, again, I thought the Chiefs played with the physicality that you saw from Kelce, you saw from the offensive line. That permeates. Juju had a block on Pacheco's touchdown. He knocked down 2 guys.
Yes.
Just dove at him. So, that kind of stuff, like, didn't see Baltimore diving at anybody to make a block. That kind of stuff matters.
Yeah, we got to take a break. There's more I want to talk about with Spags, but I got to take a break first. We got to pay some bills. Spags, I think, coached his ass off today. This is another vintage Spags performance. Got to talk about more on this defensive side of the ball. Stick with us. Got to pay some bills. We'll be back after this break. Chiefs.
Just a short drive from Kansas City. Experience the history, the heritage, and the bourbon at Holiday Distillery. Tour Missouri's oldest distillery, where real Missouri bourbon is made the old-fashioned way. Walk the grounds, taste the tradition, and take home a bottle of something special. Make the trip, sip the story. Holiday Distillery, Weston, Missouri. Book your tour at holidaydistillery.com.
Calling all Chiefs fans, you could be on the field at the 50 inside GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pre-game coin toss. Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
My name is Terrell Jolly. A lot of people call me TJ, founder and CEO of Integrity Capital Management. So Integrity Capital Management originally started out as a property management firm, but we slowly transitioned to what is described as an incremental development firm that's focused on situational housing. I know most people say affordable, but we believe in creating housing for people that are actually in need and built to the end user. I believe everyone needs a home because when you have home, you have hope. The reality is that when you're building a business, one thing you don't think about is like what a true banking relationship means. And, I had the honor and privilege of meeting Debbie early on in my career when I was just trying to get going. And as a small business, it's really challenging at times because people don't understand the concept or not believe the longevity because you're just getting started. But Debbie was willing to take a chance on me, be patient with me. I almost look at it like a grassroots initiative. She's seen and believe what I'm about. Anybody that's really true about their business and want to get some things done, I would definitely trust hands down Emprise because Deb's team, along with Aaron and Jackie and all the amazing people that work behind the scenes, even from the treasury side, I would say, hey, give them an opportunity because you won't be disappointed and you will actually be in hands that actually somebody care and that will see you from start to finish.
Matt, you mentioned a little bit the drive, the first drive of the game that the Ravens put together. A pretty good drive. I mean, great drive by the Ravens there in that scripted drive. I had tweeted out the meme of this is from American Psycho, where he says, "Impressive, very nice. Now let's see the unscripted drives." Because, okay, your first drive, you scored your first drive, fine, all right. Spags also, that first drive, didn't really blitz at all, which I thought was oh, that's weird how they're going to kind of approach this. This is kind of interesting. Since the Ravens' first scripted drive, this was in the first half. This is from after their first drive until halftime. They ran 14 plays for 4 first downs, 57 net yards. That includes penalty yardage in it as well. 1 interception and a turnover on downs. So Spags was okay, I see what you're going to do. You're not going to do that anymore. And they just didn't have an answer for what Spags did. He kind of dialed it up. You mentioned Nick Bolton. I thought they used him phenomenally because he's not a coverage linebacker, right? They know, the Ravens know he's not a coverage linebacker. The Chiefs know he's not a Ravens coverage linebacker. Everyone in the stadium knows that Nick Bolton is not going to be very good in coverage, but apparently Leo Chenal will be. So what you're going to do with Nick Bolton? Fucking send him. Let's send him every play. All of it. He had so many hits because he was just going after. Well, the offensive line would make their calls, right? You see which way they were going, and then Nick Bolton, boom, through that A gap. And he was going, and it was very impressive from Nick Bolton on the blitzing. I know that people are going to be yeah, we're paying $15 million a year for a blitzer. Well, maybe, but that is the most effective way I think Nick Bolton could be used.
I have been screaming that if they're going to put Connor in the slot, blitz him. And if they're going to put Bolton on the field on third down, blitz him. And I don't know if I was screaming loud enough that it could be heard in Kansas City, but I was beaming with pride. And Spagnuolo just relentlessly sent them. He's all right, fine, screw it.
Yeah.
Blitz him. We were talking pre-show. It is so deeply disrespectful to play a quarterback the stature of Lamar Jackson and literally not even try to disguise it. No. Just walk up to the line pre-snap and here it comes, deal with it, figure it out. I don't care. And, it's funny. I felt like last year they didn't do that as much as they did in 2023. And maybe the stats are back. I mean, it's I don't know. But I think part of it was last year they didn't have the corners to do it.
For sure, yeah.
They couldn't hold up the same way. They've got corners right now that they can just be like, all right, one-on-one. Here you go. Here comes 6 guys. You figure it out. Beat it.
Right.
And in that game, Spagnuolo was just blitzed and blitzed and blitzed. I mean, there was a 4th and 1 in the first half that I thought, by the way, was insane that Baltimore went for on their own side of the field. That was nuts. I mean,
which they ended up being okay with it because the Chiefs missed the field goal. Dude, I was so pissed. I don't know how you felt about that.
Butker continues to be a disaster. But beyond him, everything else was really good. But you have so the Ravens at this point in the game, when they went for that, it was 3 minutes left. It was 4th and 1, throwing 41-yard line. I appreciate that they didn't even run the ball there. If Derrick Henry wasn't on the field.
Right, yeah.
And most teams playing Baltimore in that situation, but we cannot blitz because if Lamar gets out or they hit us with the Chiefs brought an immediate all-out assault on the A-gap. And we're just here it comes, guess what? And then Lamar just wailed it. The only play that was funnier than that is when down 800 points in the fourth quarter, Cooper Rush threw it away on 4th down. It's come on, man. I mean, you got to try. Throw it down the middle of the field and hope for a play or, a PI or whatever. But I just thought that play against Jackson on 4th and 1 was kind of symbolic. Spagnuolo basically was just said to him, I don't think you can beat me.
Right.
I don't think you can do it. And he couldn't. They are now 5-1 with Spagnuolo against Lamar Jackson.
Oh.
They have owned Lamar Jackson over these. By the way, they're 6-1 in Lamar's career against him because Sutton actually beat him once, which should have forced him into immediate retirement. But here we are. The Chiefs they own the Ravens. They beat them every time they play them.
Yep.
And it was another game. We talked about this, I believe, last week. If you can get the Ravens where they can't just run the ball, the Ravens, as terrific as they can be at times, they need to be playing a certain way to be their peak effectiveness. They need to be ahead and running the ball and getting downhill and keeping up. When they've got to just kind of drop back and throw the football, they're an entirely different offense. Because they don't have the receivers. I mean, Flowers is terrific, but other than him, Rashad Bateman, 1 catch in this game.
Right.
Who cares? Nobody's going into this game. It's like fear and juju. It's all right, it's fine. It's fine. He's fine, but you're not oh my God, what are you going to do? And in this game, once the Chiefs got a point of 7, they're probably home free here because Baltimore. I mean, hell, if there's any kind of history, we know they're not going to stick to the run. So here comes the throws, and it went about as predicted. It was not great for the Ravens. It was the struggle bus all the way home.
And look, Lamar has been a better passer as of last year. He was a good passer. He's been
a much better passer.
He's become a very good passer, but still, that's how you beat the Ravens, right? You mentioned, I think you hit the nail on the head with their receiving core is not good. Mark Andrews had 7 catches today, and Mark Andrews is a shell of Mark Andrews.
I was going to say he's not the same guy. And by the way, he had 7 catches for 30 yards. Okay, I mean, just a disgraceful line. And it's again
his yards after the catch was 5.
He basically fell over a few times. Right. Lamar's QBR in this game was 36.3.
Ooh.
Mahomes was 72.9.
Kind of low.
It feels low. Man, it does feel low. You know what? It's just, to me, and by the way, to your point and what you're saying, it's not even a slam on Lamar. He's a much better thrower of football, but they're not built to play that way.
Correct. Yes.
They are built to face teams that are going to give them heavy boxes because they're trying to slow down the run, and then they're going to be efficient in the pass game. They're not a volume pass game. They're efficient in the pass game.
Yeah.
When they're asked to be voluminous in the pass, it becomes a major problem because it's just not, again, they're not built. The offensive line is built to run the ball. The skill position players they have are built to run the ball.
Yep.
Other than Flowers, they don't threaten you. And when you get into a game with them, where all of a sudden, look, when Kansas City's at full capacity, the Chiefs are oh, great, thank God we got to throw the ball, right? The Chiefs are awesome. But when you're asking Baltimore to do that, you always see all the numbers, the yards per attempt's always great. What's not great are the volume numbers. They're not built to do that. They throw the ball less than anybody in football almost every year. And when you're ahead of them and you're forcing them into that spot, like the Chiefs were, that's when the blitzes work.
Yep.
That's when you can tie coverage to pressure and just go, look, you might beat us once in a while, but by and large, we're going to force throwaways. We're going to force you to get rid of the ball really quick. And one thing the Chiefs have been very good under Spagnuolo for the entirety of his time there, they are great tacklers.
Yes.
So they rally the ball. They will bring you down. You're not going to get yards after the catch. Look, I mean, again, I thought the Chiefs in this game, other than Butker, I don't know what you point to and be like, I mean, is he – I get it 56 yards, but holy hell, man. I mean, that thing was like a duck hook. Like, you got to get it close. Offensively and defensively, though, I don't know what you'd point to. I don't know what you would point to. Like, that was a bad job by X unit. I don't know what it would be.
I legitimately think this is the best football game they've played since at least the Bears game, but like the Bears, as we talked about already, like the Bears were an awful team. Like, that doesn't really count.
Maybe so that Bucs game in 2022?
Have to be, right? It would have to be that Bucs game.
Like, they just crushed them in that game.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to include the Niners from that year, like, they beat them up pretty good, but but the Bucs game was like a total, like, that was just an annihilation. Because I don't know if there was any game, like, I'm looking right now. Like 2023, I mean, they didn't beat anybody until, of course, like, one of the best postseason runs of all time.
Yeah.
But, you know, who saw that coming? But yeah, even 2021, like, they didn't really, you know, they didn't beat anybody that was good. Like, this is the first time in a long time. They were just like, here it comes, deal with it. And, you know, you do wonder, when Rice comes back in a few weeks, what does that look like? Because you know who else is going to benefit from Worthy getting wide open downfield? Rashee Rice.
Yeah.
Who's going to be running slants and in routes just all day and half the night against some outside linebacker who's just praying to God that there's immediate pressure on Mahomes.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
It will be. There's two things I want to talk about before we take a break, our second time out, and then talk about the rest of the National Football League, some interesting results and scores and some things we can take going into to week 5 here already. Golly. Chris Jones. We need to talk about what Chris Jones went through in this game because it's something that I don't really know. This is like really unheard of, I think, in the National Football League for this to happen. He was added to the injury report Saturday night, added to the injury report, and it was a non-injury related personal, which within a no game day designation, just meaning he was excused from that day's activities. So whatever it was, it means whatever the Chiefs were doing, he wasn't going to be there. But no game day designation means he's still expected to play. All right, I don't know how you were thinking about it. I was like, that's kind of weird, but like, okay, that's fine. Nothing really changes here in this regard. But then we get more news. I think it was more like Sunday morning. I think it was Jeff Darlington had a report from Arrowhead talking about how like, hey, he's like still in Mississippi right now, and he's going to be on a plane that's going to land here at 2:40, and the game kicks off at 3:25. And I saw that, and I was like, that is wildly strange and unheard of. And then we got to see him land and take the police escort and then be in a suit and then 30 minutes later be out of the tunnel for introductions. Like, that was insane. And then he started the football game for them because the Chiefs defense was the first unit onto the field for the game. Thoughts on that whole thing? That is insane.
I mean, it's a testament to Chris Jones that he could go down to Mississippi, mourn the loss of a loved one, come back, get himself to the game with a police escort.
I know.
Get in uniform and then play great.
Yeah.
Like, I look, it is really a credit to his professionalism. You know, a lot of guys would say, "Hey, I'm going to miss the game." Mm-hmm.
Understandably so too, right? Like, if he said, "Yeah, I don't want to," be like, I think everyone would be like, "Okay, that makes sense."
Especially a guy like him, who's always been like, you know, you look at the box. He had a tackle. He had a tackle for loss, a pass deflection, 2 quarterback hits, pressures galore. I mean, he was. You know, he's one of the few guys. I always feel like when people say, "Oh, the guy doesn't," you know, the stats don't measure the player. It's like, yeah, sure, okay, that's it. Right. Convenient excuse,
right?
They actually really don't with him. Like, he is so dominant that he just changes the way that everybody has to block them as a team. And I think Carl Loftus having 8 quarterback hits in the last 2 weeks. I mean, not taking away from George, but like, that's not happening if Chris Jones isn't in there.
Correct.
Like, just destroying people. But I, you know, my condolences to him and his family. Credit him in every possible way for getting there, and not just getting there, but being there, like really playing a quality game.
Very impressive in all fronts, really, from Chris Jones. So as you said, I mean, condolences to him and his family, but a very impressive effort from him as well. Last thing I want to talk about this game before we move forward. You mentioned it a little bit. We kind of brought it up a little bit. When is it? When do we need to have a conversation about Harrison Butker? When I know that like it didn't impact this game, and that was honestly one of my biggest fears, because in this game, like this was a side of the football that could have really impacted the game, is Harrison Butker missing kicks. That 6-point swing had me at the end of the half, had me a little bit more heated than it probably should have, Matt, because I was like, wow, that is so frustrating to have 3 points and to have adding 3 more points to a game where you're going to need probably every point in this game, right? That was before Lamar decided to quit halfway through the third quarter, but you're going to need every point in this game, and you just gave them 3. I did say it. I'll be on the record for that. That's fine. You don't have to put that on your conscience. I said it. But
my conscience has way more to deal with than that. The conscience. It's not my conscience I'm concerned about. Look,
it's frustrating what Harrison Butker's doing.
It is the answer to the question. I've seen a lot of people like, they got to cut. First of all, they're not going to cut him. He's the highest paid kicker in football, and they basically are guaranteed to be with him this year and next year. And I'm going to be honest, he has been brutal this year.
Yeah.
At the same point, if that guy lined up tomorrow night in the AFC Championship game with the game on the line from 50 yards out, would you bet on him to make it or miss it?
I'd probably say he's going to make it.
That mother is drilling it right down the middle.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and that's kind of the thing. Like, don't get me wrong. He's got to get right. He's got to get it figured out. But he's human. He's had a bad month. Like, he's a human being. Like, he's had a bad month. He's got to get it right. Hell, he hit an extra point that he barely hit today. And he almost missed that. Okay. That being said, you don't give up on that guy. He's too great. I mean, he's one of the greatest kickers of all time.
Yeah.
I'm not giving up on that guy. Like, to me, you just ride with it, man. And we all know, too, how that stuff works. Look, all it takes is him having a game where he hits a big field goal.
Everyone will forget it.
And then he's 20-20 on the night. And it's like, okay, everything's good. Like, I think it's frustrating for sure. And it could cost him, but you got to kind of ride it out. You just ride it out. Look, I get it. But to me, this team, especially after a game like they just played, this team is about January. This team is about... And who do you want more than that guy? You want to call up the bill? Tyler Bass is available. You want to make that trade? I mean, like, you want to make that move?
No,
nobody. No, I didn't think so. You don't make the move. You ride it out. You keep working on it. He's Harrison Butker. It's not like this guy's some unproven bum. He's one of the best kickers in NFL history. So frustrating as hell. I will say this too, though. The one thing I will kind of give him a little bit of a break on, I mean, 2 of the field goals he's missed are 56 and 58 yards.
That's true.
I mean, I get we're just so used to him hitting everything, but like, it's not like, now he also missed a 40-yarder in New York. He's missed, 1 extra point, 2 extra. I mean, it's not like I'm not exonerating him. He's nothing good. But it'd be different if he was just shanking the crap out of like 32-yard field goals.
Yeah.
He's not. So, got to be better, but would I move off of the guy? No, no way.
2 extra points missed for him so far this season. You're right. I mean, he's had a lot of field goals. What I looked up afterwards is his field goals attempted and made from over 50 yards, and on his career he's like 67%. So it's just like that's like just over. That's better than a coin flip, right? So I was going to be upset if it was like 75, a guy who makes 75% of those kicks from over there misses this one. And I was like, well, all right, that probably is a little bit more perspective, but you're right. I mean, the distance of these kicks, we're so used to him just being so automatic from like 60 yards in and even like 60 plus. Insane. Yeah. It was just like, is not normal.
How the hell did he miss that 58-yard field goal on grass? Like, it's like a wall. I mean,
yeah. So like, I think that's kind of where we are. It is wildly frustrating. And it's one of those things where I am constantly worried that it's going to be something that costs the Chiefs in these games where traditionally the Chiefs have played a lot in the margins, right? Like the margins are one of those places where the Chiefs have lived. Like last year's Chiefs team was thriving in the margins. And now this year's team, like it didn't matter in this game, right? But I'm worried it'll come down. But apparently in like the games when it does matter, he doesn't miss them. So I know he had surgery in the offseason, he had that like knee cleanup, and he got injured last year, right? And then he's changing his mechanics so he doesn't fall down on his knee. There's a lot of stuff going on, but as long as he gets it fixed by January, as you mentioned, I think that's kind of what needs to be the big focus. But yeah, I still think I'm still confident every time he steps up that he's going to hit it. But it's one of those things where, like the Missouri Tigers, I don't know how much you know about the Missouri Tigers, Matt. Their kicker, week 1 of the season, tore his ACL on a kickoff, trying to tackle a guy on a kickoff. So now they've got like a freshman who every time he gets up to kick, you're like, I have no clue where this ball's going. That's not how I feel with Harrison Butker, right? I know it's going to be somewhere close, but now if it's 50 plus, I'm like, well, is he going to make it? But like, I still feel pretty good about Harrison Butker. I don't think it's time to cut him. They won't cut him because of how much money is spent on it, but I understand the frustration. I'm frustrated
on the team this year. And these people who are like, they should just get rid of it and bring in who?
Right, yeah.
And that's the part. It's like, bro, you going to kick for him? Who's kicking?
Eddie Pinero.
Justin Tucker calling him up?
Yeah.
Like,
oh, God.
I wouldn't. For a variety of reasons, I wouldn't.
That.
Okay, let's
He's
not
still suspended, truthfully.
Yeah. And there's look into that at your leisure. Okay, I would not bring in, like, who are you bringing in? Tyler, like, all kidding aside, like, they might keep Prater. So if they do, like, them passes, like, you're bringing in Prater or no, right? Like, sometimes I just think, look, if they were to ever cut Harrison Butker and then miss a big field goal in the playoffs, everyone and their mother would be, I'll tell you who would have made that. Yeah. Right? Like, and you know what? If they get to the playoffs and he misses you know what? You'll live with it because that guy has been automatic for years.
He's hit so many big kicks for you. You can live. Yeah.
Here's things are going good for the Chiefs. Our only complaint after that game is Butker, because the rest of the team basically beat Baltimore like they were a JV team in high school. So
goodness.
Yeah. I mean, Lamar had a rough game. I'll tell you, man, they play the Texans next week.
Could be some scary hours in Baltimore.
I'll tell you right now, man.
It'll get dark quick.
Like, if Houston starts lighting them up, it's over.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to be 1-4 coming out of that bad boy.
That's tough. There's plenty of other headlines to talk about around the National Football League. We'll take a break here real quick. Pay some more bills. Our final timeout. We'll burn it here.
A lot of bills.
Yeah, we got a lot of bills to pay. We got a lot of timeouts to burn. We're going to burn our last one here. And then we will be back right after this. Chiefs.
What's up, guys? I'm BJ Kissel, founder and CEO of KC Sports Network, and I'm here to talk to Kansas City businesses. If you rely on technology, you need an IT support team that's not just another vendor, but a true IT partner. That's how I want to introduce you to my friend and neighbor, KJ Miller. He is a VCIO at ThrottleNet, the Midwest's highest rated and most reviewed IT support company. They've been in business for more than 25 years, helping companies stay secure, productive, and ahead of the curve. They aren't just IT support, but they provide data security, IT strategy, and cloud software services. They do it all, and their reviews show they do it better than anyone else. So if you want to hear about how ThrottleNet can help your local business, join the conversation with myself, KJ Miller from ThrottleNet, and our resident genius from KC Sports Network when it comes to IT, at least as he's affectionately known by us, Mr. Craig Stout. Click the link in the description to hear how ThrottleNet can help you.
Chiefs Kingdom, I have got a question for you. What is your favorite touchdown? Well, for me, I can confidently say that my favorite touchdown, it's the next one, because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. From the first touchdown score to anytime touchdown props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. From spreads to money lines, same-game parlays, regular parlays, you want it, DraftKings has got it. Here's the best part. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. I use DraftKings Sportsbook, and you should too. Your team hitting pay dirt pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code KCSN. That's code KCSN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive reward. Minimum minus 500 odds required. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Matt, AFC West teams losing today. Chargers losing to the Giants. Raiders losing to the Bears. Two very laughable losses.
Yeah, look, we got to start. Like, I know the which game is much more consequential, but I want to start with the more hilarious one.
Yeah.
They're both kind of hilarious. I have no idea how in God's name the Raiders lost that game. Actually, let me rephrase that. I know how they lost the game because I'm about to explain how they lost the game. But like, Caleb Williams went 22 of 37 for 212 yards, 5 yards per attempt, a touchdown and a pick, and the Bears ran for 2.7 yards per carry. That's an impossible game to lose at home. What? You know, like DJ Moore had 38 yards. Luther Burden had 2 catches for -4 yards. Okay. The Bears, like, Williams also fumbled twice. He did recover him. The Raiders lost the game because Geno went 14 of 21, which is like, all right, for 117 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks, and Genti lost a fumble. Like, what? Just gross football all the way around. Yeah. I also appreciate that Jacoby Myers continues to get more targets than Brock Bowers. Just seems like a bad idea.
Right.
And then the Raiders had this game, not in hand. In hand would be an aggressive way to state it. But we're in a good spot. The Raiders, by the way, outgained them 6.9 yards per play, which is a huge number, to 4.2.
Whoa.
And just managed to lose because at the end of the game, Daniel Carlson lines up for a field goal and the Bears block. It was, by the way, it's just a year apparently of everybody and their mother blocking.
I know, that's so crazy.
It's insane. Like, apparently no one does a block anymore up front. But long story short, not great for the Raiders, who are now 1-3, and 2 of their next 3 games are at the Colts and at the Chiefs. So, good night. Also, I have not seen the update on this, but I believe that Colton Miller sustained what appeared to be a fairly serious injury. He was carted off the field at the end of the game.
Ooh.
And if he's out for a long period of time, that's not good because he's the only guy who can block. It was an ankle injury, but he was carted off. We shall see. But yeah, they're not good. And then the Chargers, Jackson Dart got to start. He threw for 111 yards and was sacked 5 times.
But still won.
Because
he's not Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson came in briefly and immediately fumbled, and I thought somebody was going to come after him from the stands. Probably. The Chargers ran for 11.7 yards per carry, but lost because Justin Herbert threw 2 back-breaking interceptions.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Went for 5 yards an attempt. And although he was only sacked 2 times, was hit 12 times, and that feels light. I watched that whole game. They were just living in the backfield.
Oof.
Dable did everything he could to lose that game. It's one of the worst coached football games I've ever seen. Dable was actively wearing Chargers gear on the sideline.
Yeah, sounds like a Dable game.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
Quentin Johnson, by the way, continues to be good. Like 8 catches for 98 yards and a touchdown. I don't know what the hell's happening.
Did him and Marvin Harrison swap bodies? Was this like a Freaky Friday situation?
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Ladd McConkey had 1 catch for 11 yards on 6 targets. Ooh. Just a disaster of a football game. Yeah, brutal. But the Chargers, look, let's just call it. That's a brutal loss. That's rough, man. You would have been one thing if Dart came in and played great. Dart came in and was like pretty much a guy. Plus, Malik Neighbors unfortunately blew his knee out in the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Giants have Cam Scattleboo is like the best player on that team right now offensively, and I'm pretty sure on most teams he's basically Carson Steele.
Yes. He's Carson Steele with good PR.
Yeah, I mean it's. Whoa. Chargers have the Commanders next week in LA.
Oh, will Jalen Daniels be back for that one? You think?
Yeah, maybe. Like so that if he's back, then that could get interesting.
Because he didn't play today, and the Commanders lost.
The Commanders. Here's the big question: does anyone play defense for the Commanders?
Well, they do. They're all in the only retirement home is where their defense is.
Yeah, their average age is like 47. But I mean, Michael Penix, who's been under just like Michael Penix looked at a quote this week, and I'm paraphrasing, but was like, I just got to learn to throw the ball to guys when they're open. It's like that's great. 20 of 26 with 313, 2 touchdowns and a pick, and a QBR of 90.3 against Washington.
Jeez.
To which Rashee Rice was sobbing uncontrollably, knowing that he's going to be active when they play Washington. I was like, oh my God, it's going to be unbelievable. There was also, was McLaurin, did he play today? I should know off the top of my head. He didn't have any, I don't think he did.
No, I don't. I remember seeing something about him injury-wise, like for the game, but I don't remember what it was.
He was out. He didn't play.
Sense. Okay, yeah.
I was going to say, I thought he didn't play. And they still somehow scored 27 points against Atlanta. Who let us never forget, traded away next year's first-round pick to move up to take an edge rusher. Which, like, nothing against that guy, but, like they're trotting out players I've never even heard of on defense for real stuff. Like, here's a brief summary of who's on defense for the Falcons, just based on I'm just going to go down the tackles sheet here.
Okay.
Jesse Bates III, we know him, great player.
Yeah, nowhere.
Xavier Watts.
I've heard of him.
D. Alford. Caden Ellis.
I think I've heard of him, yeah.
Divine Diablo.
Sick name.
Mike Hughes.
Shout out Mike Hughes.
He's in the league.
I didn't know that. Wow.
David Onyemata. Whatever's left of Leonard Floyd.
Ugh.
Billy Bowman Jr. Sounds like a name out like the Waterboy, right?
Yeah, no clue who that is.
D'Angelo Malone, who might
That's
also
a fake player. That's not a real person.
He's like performing at like the Music Box in Chicago next Wednesday. Felipe Franks.
He was a quarterback.
Who I was about to say, who is not even a defensive player and had 2 tackles in this game. He's a tight end now.
He's a tight end now, yeah.
I mean, like, the Commanders scored 27 points on this team without Jaden Daniels.
Wait a second.
McLaurin.
I got to go back to Felipe Franks had 2 tackles.
I mean, the Commanders managed to give up 435 yards in this game.
Holy cow.
Man, but that'll make it all the funnier if the Chargers go out and have like 200 yards of offense next week. No. But the Chiefs are now 1 game back of the Chargers. They're ahead of the Raiders, and I don't know what the fuck to do with Bengals Broncos. That is just going to be
so gross.
How do you feel about 6-3? Because here it comes. Just
so gross.
Bo Nix throwing it to the back. Courtland Sutton's got like 22 targets because he's the only guy with his hands. It's going to be great.
Well, it's so funny because the Broncos defense, I think, is good. Like, I still think that they're a good defense.
Good, but the offense is just an abomination.
But is the Bengals defense so bad that it can make the Broncos offense look like it has a pulse? That's
going to be the ultimate battle royale of bullshit.
Yes.
So you think you're bad? The hell you are. Watch this. We'll give up a first down. We'll run out of bounds early. Like, it's going to be
unreal.
Bo Nix against the Bengals defense is whatever the hell the opposite is of the immovable object against the unstoppable force.
We've used that a lot on the podcast already.
We have. Mm-hmm. Yeah. By the way, just to keep the streak going, I was going to say this earlier. It's completely off topic. DeAndre Hopkins with the Sky Moore box score.
He did. One target, no catch. Keep the streak alive. I was going to bring up Sky Moore in a little bit, so that's good. I'm glad we got it.
Sky Moore at this point is part of the show.
Yeah, he's an honorary third.
You may not be thrilled about that, but he's part of the show.
Yeah.
Did he have a catch today?
I don't know. I was actually about to go look.
Oh, he had a Sky Moore box score.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did. 1 target, no catches.
Let's go. Sky Moore
understands the assignment.
Yeah, 100%. Losing to the Jags, 26-21. Jags, who the Chiefs have next, Monday Night Football. They don't worry me in the slightest. We'll dive into that.
Liam Cohen going after Robert Saleh after the game?
No.
screaming at him to keep his name out of his mouth?
Hell yeah, dude.
I guess Salah, like during the week, I guess it's something basically effective, like that the Jaguars are like legally stealing signs, which sounds like something you should do if you can legally do it.
Legally do it, yeah, do it.
Hell, okay.
You should do it illegally too.
He's legally stealing money. So doesn't that work?
Right.
What? But yeah, in any event, so yeah, Cohen was screaming at Salah. Look, Jacksonville, you look at that game and you're like, man, Jacksonville, 26-21, great. Look, take nothing away from him. Trevor Lawrence is 21-31 for $174 for 5.6 yards per attempt. The reason Jacksonville won that game, Jacksonville gave 389 yards of offense, but they had 4 takeaways. Jacksonville's now taking the ball away 13 times in 4 games.
Wow.
And they're barely winning.
Yeah.
Like here's the takeaway for the Chiefs next week. Guys, hold on to the football and you're probably going to win.
Right.
Like that's probably that. And like Travis Etienne is on like a major heater. The guy's been awesome this year. Travis Hunter's kind of done nothing. 3 catches today. He had a really nice catch. He had a great 28-yard catch. Like other than that, 342 total. Like Brenton Strange is kind of holding down the fort there in the passing game.
Yeah.
And they're not exactly a dominant front defensively, and their secondary is not good. Like Tyson Campbell's it. So, listen, we'll get into this later in the week, but Jacksonville is not exactly a dominant force here. Like, if you don't turn the ball over, you're probably in pretty good shape. Let's put it this way. It was a +4 turnover ratio, and they were holding on for dear life against Brock Purdy and company. Okay?
True.
No Kittle, no Ayuk.
Sky Moore was ineffective.
Sky Moore, I do what he does. But they were missing guys left and right here, and they still almost lost that game to the Niners. So, and by the way, Trevor Lawrence this year, it's not been great.
No.
We're 4 games in. Here are his lines in these games.
Okay.
19-31 for $178, a touchdown and a pick, 5.7 yards per attempt against Carolina.
Oof.
24-42, 271 yards, 6.5 yards per attempt against Cincinnati. 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, and they lost.
Yep.
20 of 40 for 222 yards, 5.6 yards per attempt, and a pick against Houston. 21-31, completed some passes for $174, 5.6 yards per attempt, and a touchdown. And he's rushed for 32 yards on, is that updated now? No, he's rushed for, 32 yards on 15 carries.
Oof.
He's got 5 TDs and 4 picks. It's not exactly been a tour de force there by Trevor Lawrence.
No, it hasn't.
So I expect the Chiefs to play man coverage and basically blitz 138% of the downs in that game. But you know what we can do? We can force it to make a mistake or 2.
Yeah.
And that's probably the game. So, yeah, it's, look, like I said, we'll get to them at another time. But, yeah, Jacksonville, not exactly, I'll tell you what, New Orleans almost pulled off the funniest thing imaginable today.
We talked about that. Like, that would be the funniest result of all time out of this week. Maybe Sans, I don't know. The Titans not scoring a point is actually very funny. And then Cam Ward saying we're ass after the game. Also so funny. His quote of
keep it a buck, we're ass.
Yeah, his quote of he followed it up with, at this point, we've got nothing to lose. We've dropped a quarter of our fucking games and we have yet to do anything. So we have to lock in. So honestly, refreshing, Matt. It is refreshing for a quarterback to go up there and be like, yeah, we suck, guys. Like
he was like 10 of 26. Brutal.
Yeah.
Azeez Al-Shaair also hit him with one of the dirtiest hits you'll ever see in your life. No flag.
That guy sucks.
He does suck. And Brian Callahan just showed up at the press room, just miserable to everyone there. And I'm like, Brian, I'd enjoy this because I don't think I have many more coming.
Yeah, right.
He's so bad, it's embarrassing. I have just written about him weekly in my column how he's one of the worst coaches I've ever seen. It's every week, just annihilate him. And it's like, I'm not even trying to do it. It's just he's so bad, it like has to be written about.
Every week there's something else you can write about. Like, that's the other thing. It's like every week it's just like, oh, well, I got to talk about this.
The Chiefs are actively trying to get their game against Tennessee moved up. Like, can we make sure he's still there?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, dude, they are horrible. But yeah, I mean, by the way, look, you know what? I know we're getting close to the end. I'll plant a flag on this. I feel confident saying this before we go to October. If Buffalo doesn't fix their defense, they're going home early in the playoffs. I don't care. And by early, I mean prior to the AFC title game. So, like, because I think they might be the 1 seed. They play nobody. I'm telling you right now, they don't fix this defense, and they play Kansas City or Baltimore in a playoff game. Baltimore gets healthy, they're gonna smoke the Bills. Can't stop anybody. The Saints ran for 189 yards in that game. Like, are the Bills alive? Is anybody awake on that defense? Like, what is right? And it took Kellen Moore going full Kellen Moore in a goal-to-go sequence to like really make sure that the Saints didn't win that game.
Yeah.
Look, I understand the greatness of Josh Allen. I mean, after all, if you turn on any television, you're told immediately that he's the greatest player who's ever walked the face of the earth. And, we have to bow to the greatness that is Josh Allen. Mm-hmm. And he is a terrific player, all kidding aside. He doesn't play defense. And, he was fun. Look, he was very good today. 16-22, 209, 2 touchdowns, did have a pick. Ran for 45 in a score. He was fine. He played really well. But they have no receivers. And if you can stop them from running the ball, it's kind of it. Meanwhile, Spencer Rattler posted a 72.6 QBR against the Bills. And they ran for 189 yards on 5.6 yards per carry and a touchdown. I mean, this is a Saints team that almost is like actively trying to lose. They were led by a guy in tackling today named Kool-Aid. Okay. And the Bills needed every minute of that game salted away at home.
Right.
A week after having a mini bye after beating the Dolphins in a game they barely won.
Correct.
Look, I'm just telling everybody out there right now, put a pin in it. Remember this. If they don't fix this defense, they're going home.
Yep.
They're going home way earlier than anybody's going to think they're going home. Because, you look at them right now, and it's they've played horrendous football teams outside of Baltimore. Horrendous.
Right.
Literally don't have a win otherwise horrendous. 0-10. And the Bills are barely escaping these games, 2 of which were home games, and the Ravens game took a Christmas miracle for them to win. All these people are the Chiefs, what a bullshit win, the injuries.
Right.
Yeah, well, that same offense put up 40 on Buffalo's ass in week 1. Same guys. Same guys. So, just saying, the Bills, I can see the Bills being this year's team with 14-3, and everybody's this is it. This is it. And the Chiefs going there and hang up 48 points on them.
Yeah.
And that's it then. Good night. That Bills team, they got to fix that defense, man. That is going to be a huge problem.
Now, if we're assuming that the Bills do end up getting the 1 seed because their schedule is booty butt ass cheeks.
Yeah,
it is they play literally nobody. We're assuming they get the 1 seed, and that would mean the Chiefs would have to go there no matter what to play them in the playoffs. And no matter what, if the Chiefs beat them, that'd be the last game at Highmark Stadium.
Which at this point would feel fitting based on the way the last half decade's gone.
Absolutely. It would absolutely be fitting.
Oh, from a Chiefs fan's perspective, the absolute funniest possible outcome to all this is going up there and the Bills are undefeated when the Chiefs play in the regular season, beating them, and then going back up there in the playoffs and just beating them again.
Because they'll be we usually win the regular season one, so that means we'll win the playoff one this time. No, we'll just win them both.
Just do the sweep this time. Yeah, just a gentleman's sweep.
Right. Shake hands, go home.
Listen, I don't care what anybody says. If you're a fan of the Bills, if you're a coach on the Bills, if you're a player, there is an inherent oh God, not that team.
Yeah.
Anybody else, especially in the regular season, whatever, but in the playoffs, anyone, they would rather play the 92 Cowboys than see the Chiefs in a playoff game.
Yeah.
Anyone, which actually makes sense, since the Chiefs, I think, are better at this point, historically speaking, than those Cowboys teams. But anybody else, anyone else alive, please send them here. We'll take on 2 teams combined at this point. Anybody other than that, there would be no bigger just black mark on Highmark Stadium than if the Mahomes and the Chiefs went up there and just lit them up like a Christmas tree and shut the stadium down.
Like in that Super Bowl, what was that in 90? Was it 92 Cowboys in the Super Bowl that they lived?
17.
Yeah. No
ambassadors by the Bills in that game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very well done.
That'd be pretty sick. Yeah, look, there's a bunch of football to be played. As we mentioned, Monday night has a stinker of a doubleheader, so you'll get to watch that game. We won't be able to talk about that game because it hasn't happened by the time we're recording this podcast. But We'll be back on Friday with another episode looking at Week 5 action. Chiefs-Jags on Monday night. We will be talking about that game and all kinds of other football games going on in Week 4. Maybe we'll talk about these games, especially if the Broncos lose. We'll probably have to talk about it a little bit because the Chiefs now will all of a sudden find themselves in a prime position to still win the division.
I'm going to tell everybody right now, we're talking about Jets-Dolphins.
Yeah, get ready. They're wearing their midnight ocean bullshit uniforms.
So they blend into the night so no one has to watch them. We're going to turn the lights off, and that's how we're going to play again.
Wasn't it funny how, like, Arizona's like, we're going to do these really thought-out uniforms and these thought-out end zones, and we're going to do, like, the state flag of Arizona's in the end zone, and then the Dolphins were like, let's just wear navy blue.
Dolphins. They can't be bothered.
No.
A deeply unserious team at the moment.
It is. Here's the thing. I know that we kind of shit on the rivalry uniforms when they first came out, but, like, I thought that the Cardinals ones looked better on field than like I thought they were going to.
I was so on them, but yeah, I mean, they weren't terrible. They looked better than Marvin Harrison Jr. did in the first half of that game.
Good Lord. Oh my gosh. Do you know that I retweeted this. The Cardinals haven't worn a jersey different from their pants in like 2,000 days or something like that? That's insane.
Yeah,
they've been monochrome for like 2,000 days.
Trying to blend into society, apparently.
I do not think about them and the Jaguars. I've talked about this on the podcast. Those two teams do not register. Like, I do not think about those teams at all.
So I felt growing up as like a Knicks fan. Like the Knicks would play like the Clippers.
Yeah.
And the Clippers were just ass every year. It was like Michael Olowokandi and like Lloyd Voigt. You'd be like, oh my God, they're still playing? Like they played in like Anaheim when I was a kid. Like it's playing like the Duck Stadium. It was just, oh my God, nobody would be there. It'd be all Knicks fans. Like, and it was always so annoying because the Knicks were like half asleep because God knows it. You know, looking back as a kid, you're like, why aren't they playing well? So when they were in Los Angeles partying until 7 a.m. last night, you know, they had the Clippers up next. You know, it's why I always think like Atlanta should have like the biggest home field or home court advantage in basketball. Atlanta is famous for its party scene.
Yeah.
Like if you're the Hawks, you should be like 39-2 every year at home.
Well, remember that's how when the Knights went there, they had the old Vegas flu. They had their home field advantage the first year that like teams would go to Vegas.
Yes,
they were undefeated or something crazy like that.
It's such an advantage for some of these teams. Like, come on, let's be serious. Like, oh, it's bed check, right? They're checking on empty beds.
Which, like, by the way, speaking of Vegas, like that Bears and Raiders game looked like it was a Bears home game.
Oh my God, they have no fans.
No.
I mean, they do. They're all California. They're all Oakland.
They moved them away from their fans is what they did.
Yeah. I mean, by the way, the Chiefs game against Jacksonville is going to be like 80% Chiefs fans.
Yeah.
Packed that stadium.
So I know they're building a new stadium in Jacksonville. Are they the reduced capacity?
Next year.
Next year's the reduced capacity? Okay.
I believe. You know, I should know. I think I was talking about this with Tony Baselli too at the owners' meetings. I believe... You know, it might be that it's reduced now, and then
they cut it in half again or something like that.
No, okay, so it is full right now.
Okay,
and then they're reducing it next year to 43,000. Ridiculous.
Yeah, they're not.
And then they're going to play in 2027. Looks like it's going to be a deal Outback Bowl.
Oh hell yeah!
Gotta love that. You know, between that and England, the Jags is just like, let's just crank that meter up to impossible, setting and see what happens.
Yeah. Last thing before we get out of here, Bad Bunny is the halftime performer.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Great. You don't know Bad Bunny?
No.
It's too bad.
I'm not sure. I have no idea who that is. I could pick the guy out of a lineup. Is it a guy, I'm assuming?
It's a guy. Yes, it is a guy. Sure. Latin pop star, very popular. Very popular because Spanish.
Congratulations to Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny. Find out.
Sure. It's not like Green Day. I have no idea who it is.
Green Day. Imagine if it's like, Green Day.
I mean, I like Green Day. I'm elderly. You can't.
No, I mean, look, Green Day, great band. I'm not arguing with you. I think it's good, but I think it would be hilarious if the NFL was just like, let's go Green Day in 2025.
Yeah, it's a stretch. It's a stretch.
All right, well, I think that's going to do it for this Monday edition of That Football Show from Verderame and Tucker Franklin. Thank you to our partners, Ben Holiday, Bottled and Bond Bourbon, for getting us through these hard times and getting us to the good times.
Right.
Remember, I mean, it's got to be so back before it's so got to be so over before it's so back, and it feels like, Matt, that the Chiefs are back. And that's what it felt like.
It does appear that way after the thrashing they just laid on Baltimore.
Love to see it. We'll be back on Friday. Until then, we got all kinds of stuff for you at KC Sports Network. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We will see you on Friday.